A magnetic force stands between you and the life you want, but it isn't outside of you. It's the grip. The very act of trying to control every detail, master every outcome, and micromanage your own evolution creates a blocking vibration. And paradoxically, the universe responds by pausing, not flowing. He had every routine dialed. Morning gratitude practices, visualizations, minute-by-minute plans. Yet each move felt heavier. The breakthrough perpetually just around the corner, but never arriving. The truth eventually emerges, unexpected but undeniable. When you haul the universe into your own agenda, it resists. Here lies the paradox of control. The more you attempt to steer life, the more life steers around you. What feels like empowerment is in fact tension disguised as determination. When you broadcast, "I must keep things in order," the quantum field mirrors back. Not movement, but stillness. Not flow, but friction. Not miracles, but the echo of the same stuck pattern again and again. Why does this happen? Two energetic laws operate behind the scenes. First, the nervous system treats control like a survival threat. It whispers something is unsafe and initiates contraction. Meanwhile, the quantum field detects the frequency you're sending, not your best-intentioned words. And if those feelings beneath your words are tightened, forcing, anxious, the field responds accordingly. Second, control undermines alignment. You might truly desire expansion, healing, a breakthrough, but the vibration behind your actions is tethered to fixing what's wrong, and the quantum mechanics principle resonates. What you resist persists. That resistance isn't outside of you. It's your frequency, and it echoes back patterns you hope to leave behind. No more spiritual hustle can break that loop, because at the core, control is not mastery, it's fear, and when fear is the frequency you send, your reality matches it. The way out isn't more technique. It's a shift in posture from forcing change to inviting it, from gripping the wheel to allowing the ride, from telling life what must happen to whispering, "I trust what wants to emerge." Surrender in this context isn't about giving up or settling. It's the calm center of knowing that what wants to unfold already aligns when we're no longer fighting the moment. That is the true vibration of creation. As we move forward from here, we'll unravel how this notion of energetic surrender isn't spiritual laziness, but the most powerful activation of possibility. How release opens channels that control only obscures. How miracles arise not from our force, but from our frequency. So pause now and feel this. Control isn't courage. It's resistance. And only when you release the urge to fix does the flow, your natural state, return. There is a profound energy that shifts everything. Not effort, not discipline, not rigid will, but release. Release is not failure. It is radical trust. It is the art of stepping back, not stepping out. It's the realization that life isn't a puzzle you piece together with force, but a river you align with by yielding. Not because you're done trying, but because you're done obstructing. Dr. Joe Dispenza reveals that intention, while vital, is incomplete without surrender. Intention gives form to desire, but surrender gives it life. When intention sharpens your focus, surrender softens your energy. The quantum field waits for both. Clarity of vision paired with spaciousness of presence. Without that anchoring softness, your desire collides with tension, pressing against the very flow you seek to harness. This marriage of intention and surrender is not passive, it's alchemy, where your mind aligns with what you want and your heart embodies that it is already yours. The quantum landscape doesn't respond to your urgency, it responds to your vibrational alignment. If your frequency carries undercurrent of anxiety, even spiritual anxiety, it overrides the clarity of your vision. The universe then mirrors back not your dream, but your deeper vibration of, "I must make this happen." The observer effect in quantum theory tells us that the act of measuring influences outcomes. But here, it's not just looking. It's how we look that matters. Measuring with clenched fists collapses possibilities into form that echoes your internal tension. Measuring with open arms, heart ready, mind clear, invites reality to shape itself around your resonance. Not your expectation. Picture it like this. You're holding a delicate butterfly. If you grasp it too tightly, you crush the wings. You may still hold it, but it's no longer beautiful. But if you open your hands gently, it may simply land on your palm of its own accord. That's the dance of release. Not choked control, but calm openness. Letting what you seek come to you with natural grace. When you finally understand that tighter control doesn't bring flow, release does. You begin to reclaim the rhythm of creation. You stop pushing the tide and start moving with it. You realize miracles don't arrive because you made them happen. They emerge where your vibration aligns with the unseen pattern already forming. Let's bring this into your reality. Perhaps you've structured your growth so perfectly, timed affirmations, scheduled meditations, to-do lists of intention. Yet there's still a hollow undercurrent of compulsion behind it. Release doesn't dissolve your purpose. It dissolves the underlying belief that you must scramble to become worthy. That's the real shift from "I must change this" to "I allow myself to be whole now." And in that allowing, resonance shifts. This is not an absolute answer. It's an invitation. Let your mind hold your vision. Let your heart hold the trust. Let go of the pressure between them. Let your inner world become a sanctuary, not a battleground. That sanctuary becomes the broadcast frequency you send. And the quantum field responds to frequencies, not faces, not efforts, not resumes. When listened to deeply, release becomes the beginning and the end. It is both seed and harvest. You don't need to abandon your dreams. You need to reclaim your alignment. You don't need to speed run your transformation. You need to slow down into it. You don't need to control the timing of miracles. You need to welcome their timing by being the resonance that matches them. In the next chapter, we'll explore exactly how resistance, even subtle spiritualized resistance, actually reinforces the opposite of what you seek. You'll discover how trying to fix increases friction, and how to pivot into the frequency that invites instead of coerces. But for now, ask yourself quietly, what part of me is still trying to control reality when it only needs to align with it? A moment arrives when you realize that resistance isn't merely a reaction. It's the fuel for the very thing you seek to change. You try shaping your life, molding your emotions, scripting your identity, yet resistance in the guise of control, perfectionism, or self-criticism becomes the signal you broadcast, and the universe delivers more of the same. This loop, subtle yet insidious, is where many genuine seekers unknowingly anchor their stagnation. When you resist a part of your experience, you give it energy. The mind of resistance is always vigilant, scanning for what's not aligned, what's incomplete, what's potentially flawed. That vigilance, like a copper wire, conducts signal into the quantum field, amplifying the waveform of limitation. Scientifically, we could call it observer bias. Spiritual traditions know it as anchoring the undesired pattern into existence. Every time you say, "I must fix this," you're actually shaping your field around the idea that the current you is not enough. Dr. Joe Dispenza speaks directly to this phenomenon. The more you attempt to control or manipulate outcomes, the more you reinforce the identity of someone who lacks control. That contradiction, even when hidden beneath well-intentioned intentions, confuses the field. Your heart may say, "I trust," but your muscle memory is still poised in mistrust. The result, energetic interference. Your internal orchestra out of tune. The field responds not to the instrument you choose, but to the discord you play. This is why so many manifestors fall off the vibration. They learn the affirmations, the techniques, the spiritual language, but their energy is still hooked on survival. They cling to a fractured sense of identity. "I am not enough unless I prove myself." And the field echoes back their embedded story, not their hopeful projection. But here's where transformation begins. When you understand resistance as an energetic pattern, not a failure. You're no longer bound by it. You can consciously drop the reliance on struggle as a gauge that you're doing it right. You can feel the depth of your breath, the softness beneath the hard shell, the coherence behind the clamor. The shift is seismic. You move from trying to fix your energy with effort to releasing the struggle and allowing the alignment to emerge through presence. You're no longer battling your reflection. You're inviting a new mirror. So how do you do this? You begin by welcoming these words. "I do not need to resist what is." This is not resignation. It is vibrational clarity. It's the willingness to be fully present with your current flow, then gently inviting what you yearn for to join you. It's a practice of merging, not of modifying, of inviting transformation, not enforcing it. Because resistance is not the absence of action. It's the wrong kind of action. Action sourced from fear, not clarity, and actions rooted in fear perpetuate the feedback loop. You don't overcome resistance with more resistance. You dissolve it by turning your energy into resonance. And in that resonance, a different reality begins to crystallize. In the upcoming chapter, we'll even go deeper, exploring how the identity of needing to fix keeps replaying your old story, and how shifting from fixing to frequency becomes a gateway into timelines that were always accessible, waiting for your alignment. But for now, rest in this realization. The universe isn't your opposition, it's your canvas, and your frequency is the brush. There comes a moment when you realize the energy behind your every effort is what anchors your reality, not the effort itself. You've tried to fix habits, mend relationships, or tweak circumstances as if those external elements are the source of transformation. Yet real change resists that structure. The field resists force, intuition resists tension. When you shift your focus from what you must fix to who you are choosing to be, everything begins to fall away. Controlling your life signals to the universe that something fundamental has to change, and energy follows belief. But what if it's not about changing the map but calibrating the signal? The frequency you emanate doesn't carry your agenda, it carries your trust. By letting go of controlling outcomes and tuning into coherence, you recalibrate your signal from struggle to alignment. Dr. Joe Dispenza calls this the balance between intention and surrender. Intention activates the clarity of what you desire. Surrender softens your energy so the field can respond. This is not passive waiting. This is allowing your heart to meet your vision without forcing the manifestation. It's planting the seed with purpose, then letting the universe water it with unseen hands. When you remain stuck in the paradigm of fixing, you recycle the same emotional tune. You might think, everything in my life will improve with enough effort. But underneath that thought is a deeper story. I'm not enough. And even spiritual effort can become another layer of self-judgment disguised as devotion. The moment you shift, not through more effort, but through emotional spaciousness, choosing not to correct every outcome, you alter your frequency. And your frequency is what the quantum field mirrors back to you. This internal shift brings synchronicity, clarity, and presence. You no longer need to orchestrate miracles. You simply become the signal that mirroring reality recognizes. When your inner frequency drops the tension of trying to fix, the structures of life begin to vibrate to your new resonance. Doors open, conversations align, opportunities arrive. Not because you manipulated, but because your presence changed. This shift is less resilient to force and more receptive to flow. The river doesn't surge upstream by force. It flows where the banks guide it. In the same way, you don't shift timelines through effort. You shift them by gently steering your energy. So step into that frequency. Feel into a state of enoughness that isn't proven by your actions, but serene in your knowing. Let intention draw your map and surrender soften your tune. When your frequency is coherent, your life becomes the echo. Comment below. I release control and align instead. To align your frequency, in the next minutes we'll dive into how surrender doesn't weaken you, it magnetizes reality. You'll discover the incredible force hidden in letting go, and how inner alignment becomes the most powerful form of creation. There is a resonance so profound that it renders effort irrelevant. It's not a softer form of control, but an entirely new mode of being. This is the stillness of surrender, and paradoxically, it is the most magnetic force at your disposal. When you cease resisting, the current of life stops circumventing you and begins flowing through you. The stillness I speak of is not paralysis. It's presence. It's quiet mastery. It's the state where your internal coils of must-do finally unwind and you realize that life doesn't need coaxing. It simply needs space to unfold. In that stillness, the universe aligns with you. The energy shifts. Opportunity doesn't knock. It appears perfectly on time. Dr. Joe Dispenza expresses this exquisitely. The balance between intention and surrender is delicate, like walking a tightrope. Intention brings focus, but surrender opens the heart. When these two meet, coherence emerges. A single signal into the quantum field that reverberates with creation itself. Think of it as humming. If you hum with tension in your throat, the tone fractures. But when your throat relaxes, the sound becomes rich, resonant, and carries across a room. This stillness is your spiritual signature. It broadcasts clarity, not rigidity. Without it, your vibration is trapped in the loop of doing more, even if that doing is spiritually polished. But surrender doesn't negate your vision. It refines its pathway. It doesn't reduce your reach. It magnifies your frequency. When you embody surrender, you're no longer laboring for results. You are becoming the vessel through which those results naturally exist. At a quantum level, every possibility already exists in potential. What shifts the possibility into the physical timeline is coherence. Your presence itself, absent the tension of trying, is what collapses waves of becoming into real-time manifestation. The universe doesn't find a way to make your dreams happen. It shapes itself around the vibrational geometry of your alignment. Letting go is not giving up. It is giving way to what already flows. It's not abandoning ambition. It's aligning ambition with instinct. It's not quieting desire. It's quieting the struggle around it. Imagine your desire as a star and surrender as the dark sky. Without darkness, the star doesn't shine. Without surrender, your desire loses its brilliance. So you rest. You become the field. You embody the knowing that life is supporting your expansion. Not because you forced it, but because you allowed it. You trust in timing without rushing. You trust in reading without controlling. And the universe responds not out of obligation, but recognition. In this kind of surrender, fascination replaces frustration, trust replaces pushing, stillness replaces effort, and your frequency reframes your reality. In the final part, we'll seal this journey and meet not your destination, but your return. Because the truth is, you were never broken. You were always becoming. And now the becoming flows seamlessly. They told us life is about fixing, repairing, correcting your flaws until you're good enough. But what if that very belief has been the resistance, not the resilience? What if no part of you is broken at all, but simply becoming? The shift you've been chasing isn't a fix. It's a remembrance. The kind that unfolds not through grinding with effort, but through surrendering into alignment. You discover this in moments of stillness, moments when doing stops and being begins. When the tension of not enough yet finally quiets, and beneath it, you find a clearer hum of wholeness that was always present. That hum is your signature frequency. It's your reminder that you were never incomplete. You were your becoming, moving through all layers of identity toward your resonance. In quantum terms, everything you seek already exists in probability. The desire you broadcast is the invitation, and the feeling you hold when you truly embody that invitation is the waveform collapse. You don't fix yourself into that reality. You relax into it, not through logic, will, or strategy, but through coherence. This is the return. The moment you stop fighting your reflection, the moment you stop maneuvering, planning, optimizing, and instead align. Let go of reaction, let go of waiting. Let the circuit click without force. Let the field respond to clarity, not pressure. Dr. Joe Dispenza calls this alignment living as if, not faking, not denying reality, but stepping into your next version emotionally and energetically, even while daily life remains the same. Living as if requires virtuous repetition and nervous system recalibration. The more your body learns to inhabit that vibration, the faster your external reality harmonizes. Nothing in your outer world needs to change yet. Your internal signal does. You are not building a better version of yourself. You are remembering the version already embodied in wavelength. And that alignment reforms everything around you. Without effort, people, opportunities, ideas, they ripple in accordance with your coherence. In this place, gratitude ceases to be aspirational and becomes foundational. Not gratitude for arrived things, but gratitude for alignment itself. You're not happy because you have more. You're more available because you are happy now. That's magnetic. The universe doesn't reward your fixes. It responds to your frequency. So here's your closing invocation. You were never broken. You were just evolving into more alignment. You are not behind. You were paced by your soul. And if you feel the resonance of this like an echo in your bones, carry it forward. Let your day, your breath, your choices ripple with this knowing, but as a frequency companion. Not a path for what's next, but an invitation to align where you already are. Because the becoming was never a chasm to cross, but a heartbeat to return home to.